Testing. So I'd like to let you know that it's with great pleasure and honor that I am the one that can extend a warm welcome to you, all of you joining us today for the Tolleston Opportunity Campus building demolition, which is half done, and the groundbreaking for the new building ceremony. My name is Mike Jessen, and it's a privilege to serve as the President, CEO of the Boys and Girls Clubs of Greater Northwest Indiana. Over the past 2 years in this role, I've gained valuable insights about the Boys and Girls Club, in particular, and the impact that our clubs have had on club kids and communities throughout the Northwest Indiana region. Nearly 70 years ago, where our very first club opened its 1954, and it was named the Steel City Boys Club. In 1987, it became the John Will Anderson Boys Club in the former Moose Lodge at 7th and Adams, almost 60 years ago. That space and that renovation was completed in the year 2000. In 2011, a feasibility study was conducted. It was felt that we need a new club in the city of Gary. Capital Campaign Committee was created, and we decided, or was decided at that time, that Tolleston would be our new home. In 2012, the John Will Anderson Capital Campaign began. NIPSCO was heavily involved, and there was a gentleman at the time that was heavily involved with the organization, and this was long before he became the state senator, or prior to him being mayor. Our very own Eddie Melton was one to organize a 2-day cleanup at this particular site. Over 200 volunteers to clean up the Tolleston project in anticipation of the project that we were about to open. So you can see that we have a rich history and a rich history of our timeline with our commitment to the community, and most importantly, the commitment to the kids throughout the area. The impact of our clubs on the thousands of club kids, their families, and the community at large is immeasurable. That you're going to hear more about today would not have been possible without the invaluable help and support from all of you. We express our gratitude to our project heroes, including the City of Gary, Northwest Indiana Forum with the Ready Grant funding that we received, and the Dean and Barbara White Family Foundation, who planted the seed for this magnificent project. A special acknowledgement is reserved for our visionary partners, the John Will Anderson Foundation. Their unwavering support for 60-plus years to our organization has been absolutely essential for our historical success in Gary, as well as our intensified community impact throughout the entire region. We're delighted to have all of you here to commemorate this significant event. Thank you for celebrating with us. And at this time, I'd like to invite Tim Irvin to the podium to lead us with our invocation.
Thank you, Mike. Let us pray. Oh, gracious God, our Father, we acknowledge you as the Creator, and we are your creation. We come before you with gratitude and awe as we celebrate this moment of new beginnings. Thank you for allowing us all to be here today and for the vision of all those who are involved with this project. We ask your blessings on this project, that it may become a spark for more community and economic development in all of Gary. May this groundbreaking ceremony mark not just the beginning of construction, but the beginning of a journey that will enrich lives, strengthen this community, and bring joy, good health, and peace to all those who use these facilities. Guide the hands and hearts of all those who will labor here. Grant them safety, skill, and satisfaction in their work. Bless the materials, the plans, and the foundation so that this project may be completed with integrity and excellence. Let the fruits of our labor reflect your goodness and grace. We pray this prayer in the name of Jesus.
Good afternoon, everybody. Jay Buckmaster, President and CEO of the Crossroads Y City, and go through all the building stuff and everything. He's been right by our side. He continues to check in and has been a champion of this project. So I'd like to bring up Mayor Melton.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the 3rd District with Councilwoman Mary Brown, and we can give her a hand, ladies and gentlemen. And the entire Gary Common Council, thank you so much for your support. It is a beautiful day to come together as one community with one purpose and to build a brighter future for the city of Gary. Today, we're not just breaking ground on a building, we're breaking ground on hope, opportunity, and truly transformation. The Tolleston Opportunity Campus will be more than a facility. It will be a space for our youth, a wellness hub for our families, and a support system for tomorrow. In partnership with the Boys and Girls Club of Northwest Indiana, the Crossroads YMCA, Methodist neighbors that's sitting in the audience today that live in this neighborhood, so we are truly excited for them. This site right here will be the epicenter for families in the city of Gary. A place where kids can dream big, where parents can feel supported, and everyone can come together to grow stronger and more connected. But this moment isn't just about today. It's about the long road that got us here and the futures we're building together as a region, as stakeholders. This is a catalytic project that will spark true change, not just in Tolleston, but throughout the entire city of Gary. And this just didn't happen in a silo. This didn't just happen in a corner office. This was across Northwest Indiana. And I want to give special thanks again to the Gary Common Council for believing in this project and standing with the entire city to move this forward. To the Dean and Barbara White Foundation, thank you so much for your contribution and your commitment to Gary and the entire state of Indiana. Indiana Forum, thank you so much for your commitment in this community. This project, government, nonprofit, private sectors unite behind a mission, and that mission is lifting Gary higher. To introduce our next speaker, one whom I believe is a true representative of not just Gary, not just Lake County, but Northwest Indiana, is our Congressman, Frank Mervan. So let's welcome him.
So, of course, I'd like to thank the Mayor of Gary. I'd like White, who's here today. I think it's important, within my last 2 weeks, I've been in Shelbyville, where they built a community center, and I'm here in Gary. Their private sector dollars have a ripple effect in Northwest Indiana, as the mayor alluded to, that offers hope to all different options where to place their money. But they're choosing Gary, Indiana, because of the leadership of Mayor Melton, because of the city council. I also want to recognize, I think it's very important, humbly, the First Lady of Gary, who is sharing Mayor Melton and sharing in the responsibility of this and has a deal of pride as she's smiling at me as I'm sitting here. Please give her a round of applause. And as a member of Congress, when I was elected 4 years ago, there was an American Rescue Plan. The American Rescue Plan was passed. That plan, the American Rescue Plan, which gave dollars to the city of Gary, which gave dollars to the state of Indiana. And those dollars were supposed to be used to make sure that Northwest Indiana thrives and gets through that economic time. Those dollars are used here in this facility, here in this project. And ultimately, what we need to know is just one element: childcare. Let's look at childcare and what the Boys and Girls Club and the YMCA offers to parents as far as affordable childcare, economic opportunity, reliable places for their children to grow and learn, and to be able to make a difference in our community. And so, as a member of Congress, what I want to say is it's great to be here, to be able to see not only the Methodist, which we have to talk about access to health care and how important that is, and also the greater good of Northwest Indiana. And so ultimately, I want to play a small role in making sure that the city has the resources necessary to continue to thrive and continue to offer opportunities such as this. So as your member of Congress, I am grateful for the opportunity to be able to see and live in this moment that we are giving towards the future of Gary, Indiana, and Northwest Indiana in a collaborative effort. Federal, state, city, local, private, coming together to be able to enhance not only access to health care, children's access to exercise and to educational opportunities, but also to grow and thrive. So I thank you very much. God bless all you. And Mr. Powers, thank you very much for your work and dedication. You have a wonderful day, and thank you.
Over the event today, you're going to hear a lot of people being thanked, and I think it really speaks to when you have this many partners. A lot of times, these projects don't get done because of egos, because of different agendas, and so it's just so critical that the amount of partners we have is really kind of unprecedented in a project that's this size. And so I'm going to introduce next a person who needs no introduction, but is Bill Hanna from the Dean and Barbara White Foundation. He has really made it his life's mission to be able to impact kids and families and communities throughout this region. And so welcome, Bill Hanna.
Thank you, everybody. I'll be brief because I just have one important job coming up next, which is to introduce our next speaker. Before I say that, though, thank you, Jay, for the kind introduction, and I just want to echo some of the comments I've heard from the first speakers, which is I love it, I hope you love it, when somebody says it can't be done. When they say that, it's just because there's not a team that's been assembled yet. And I want you to know I don't take that for granted, and I appreciate each and every one of you, because every time I show up to these things, I think, I see Eddie, Mayor Melton. I see Frank, I see Congressman. To me, these are my friends. And that's because we go back an awful long way. And so when you look around, there's nothing that's been done that's significant in Northwest Indiana over the last 30 years that hasn't been done with this team. Governor Braun, Holcomb, all these guys. I don't even want to start with the naming because it's hard to know where to stop with it, because there's been so many people that have just been so instrumental in making these things happen. And that's why we're here again today. We're also here because of the wonderful support of the White family. I have the privilege, one of my other great privileges, and I always like to joke at this. We did an event earlier this last year where I said I have the best job in Northwest Indiana. It's not even a job, and you should be jealous, and all of that's still true. But it's a mission and a calling, and I know that my trustees share that vision, mission, and calling, as did the late, great, and legendary now Bruce White. And so I would like to introduce Beth White, Bruce's spouse and partner. Going back to the mid-'80s, she has been the co-captain, really, of the success of White Lodging Services with over 8,000 associates nationwide. She still calls Northwest Indiana and Maryville their corporate headquarters and their home. She's been a leading philanthropist in Northwest Indiana, the state of Indiana, and Chicago, and just a great thought leader and partner in everything that we're trying to do. And beyond that, she's a proud Boilermaker, and even more proud parent and grandmother. And so the White family continues to expand, continues to call Northwest Indiana home, and we're so grateful for everything they represent and do for us. And without further ado, it's my great honor to introduce Beth White.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. I first want to thank Mayor Melton and the Gary Common Council for supporting this tremendous initiative. I also want to express my gratitude to our great state of Indiana. And not only am I with Northwest Indiana, but I grew up in Indiana. So I've been an Indiana native through and through. But the great state, including Governors Holcomb and Braun and the Indiana General Assembly, for their significant investment of the READY funds. And since 2/3 of those funds are federal, I'd also like to recognize Congressman Frank Mervan for his support. And I also know that United States Senator Jim Banks and United State Senator Todd Young's offices are represented here today. So thank you to all of you. Today marks a powerful example of what collaboration can truly achieve. We have the Crossroads YMCA, the Boys and Girls Club, and Methodist. They've all come together and formed one team, and together as a team and a partnership, they are going to positively impact Gary and all of Northwest Indiana for generations to come. And most importantly, thank you to the citizens of Gary. This center is for all of you. You are the heart of it, and you are the ones that are going to truly bring it to life. Today, you're going to be hearing from a lot of amazing people, which means plenty of talking points and plenty of speeches, so I'm going to try to keep mine brief. But in truth, today is about more than speeches. It's about a shared commitment to making Gary and Northwest Indiana stronger. And that takes teamwork, trust, and the courage to set aside egos, the courage to set aside city borders and biases, and to lift up for the greater good. I remember the day that my late husband, Bruce White, we drove over here, and he got out of the car and stood in the parking lot and looked around and, imagined its potential. And what has unfolded since then would have exceeded even Bruce White's highest expectations. And for those of you that knew Bruce, that was hard to do. I also recall the many stories of his parents, Dean and Barbara, and they used to talk about coming to Gary to go dancing and having picnics and creating many memories that you too will create again in this beautiful new space. One of Bruce's guiding principles was to begin with the end in mind. He always talked about having your true north. He always said, if you don't know where you're going, any road will get you there. Always begin with the end in mind. And that's exactly what all the partners have done. No one focused on why this couldn't get done. Instead, everyone asked, how can we make this work? And because of that mindset, we're all here today celebrating the start of something that is truly going to be transformational. And to keep that momentum going, the White Family Foundation is committing another $5 million to this Opportunity Hub. And we are anticipating that many of our partners will join us in this challenge grant. This is an exciting opportunity to be part of something bigger than any one person and show our children and our communities that when people work together and trust each other, great things really do happen. So I personally look very forward to the day when I am standing right here and celebrating the opening of this beautiful facility. And just want to congratulate everyone involved and thank you everyone for being here today. So thank you.
Thank you, Beth. What a great supporter. That announcement is going to come with a little something on the back end, so don't leave too early. There's still more. But I would like to introduce, so a piece of this, this support has really been through the Indiana General Assembly and their support, so I'd like to call up Heather Ennis just to say a couple of words about their commitment to this project.
Thanks, Jay. Make me follow the $5 million gift. There's. I'm Heather Ennis. I'm President and CEO of the Northwest Indiana Forum. For those of you that don't know, the Northwest Indiana Forum is the 7-county economic development organization. We are grateful to be the voice of Northwest Indiana business, to market Northwest Indiana as the place for business, and to stake out and drive bold initiatives that wouldn't happen without an organization like the Forum. This type of project is exactly why we exist. We are so lucky that we got to be, through our Ignite the Region plan, which over 500 leaders around the region came together to craft, to drive the READY application, which garnered us $50 million from the state of Indiana, which is being dispersed amongst 42 projects here in the 7-county area. That $50 million is exploding into over $700 million of additional cash investment. So this project here is one of our largest investment projects, and we are so delighted to be a partner in this because we know that greater opportunities happen when we all act in concert, that in order to thrive, we have to act in abundance. We have to act as if in order for me to win, you do not have for a region that is sustainable and can leave implications for generations to come. And when you bring all of these people together around friendship and around opportunity and really can drive meaningful change, things will continue to happen. And I am humbled by the presence of everyone here today and can't wait to see the impact that this facility will have, not just on the children and the bodies that will come and work out here, but on the community and the place that it will create to continue to help Gary thrive and Northwest Indiana thrive. So thank you so much for having me here today and letting me be part of this wonderful celebration.
I might be able to skip 6 or 7 pages of notes now. I'd also like to thank just a couple of other people as a piece of this. One, the Methodist Hospital, the Prophets, that have boards be in that same location. Will be a great enhancement really to help treat and manage medical conditions and help assist in a facility you see very often, and so proud to be able to talk through that. That's great. We want to put a little color around this, and so I'm going to bring up next Claude Powers to talk a little bit about.
I cannot properly express how excited, grateful, how moved I am today. I was an original this president on 2 terms. We've been a member of this community for over 50 years. Today, I cannot separate being the construction partner from being a member of this community and my connections with the Boys and Girls Club my entire life. I am overwhelmed, so please pardon me. What I've learned through this process is that, and this especially to the city of Gary, especially to this community, there is nothing out of our reach if we work up places for the kids to play baseball, run track, and all those things. And I did not want to see another vacant school. And so all the no's we heard and all the step backs from what our original plans were, we are here. We are here. Please join all of us in being a part of this wonderful opportunity to when I came up here. We're going to talk about the construction journey. First of all, the construction team, would you please raise your hand? These are the wonderful guys that are going to tear up everything and rebuild it. We're going to ask in advance for the area to give us a little, like when we came here years ago to bring Tolleston back online. There's going to be a little disruption, but we're going to try to minimize that as much. But I'm going to tell you a little bit about what you can expect in the coming months. Demolition is ongoing right now, as you see, and it'll go through June. And then we will start foundations in June, and we will start to go after our foundations. That we'll start our renovations around Christmas time and go through June of next. If there's any problems with the construction team, you know where I am. So I can't run, but I'm excited beyond belief. Thank you.
Don't let Claude fool you. No one was going to take the mic no matter what he said. Thank you. So a lot about what we think is going to happen, right? As we talk about this transformation. People who've actually had some benefits of these organizations, and what it's gonna was a Boys and Girls Club member, and now I think an employee, if I'm not mistaken.
Thank you, everyone. I just want to begin today. What a powerful moment it is for us to stand in front of everyone on this ground and this on the Tolleston community and what this building has had on it. It had pride, perseverance, and right here, this school stood as a staple in this community. Community leaders who walked these halls, making memories, building futures, and laying the foundation for everything we're continuing. You know, unfortunately, that journey of Tolleston School ended in 2008 when it shut its doors. Now, in too many places, especially in cities like ours, when a school closes, the story ends there. Another empty building, another reminder of what was. But not here. This community was fortunate and determined to not let this space sit empty. Instead, it became the new home of something great, the Gary Boys and Girls Club. What had once been a quiet, closed chapter was born into something vibrant, something necessary. 12 years ago, in 2013, we stood on this very ground and cut the ribbon, opening these doors for the public for the first time since 2008. That moment was powerful. It was the start of a new era for our youth, our community, including mine. Because on December 2nd in 2013, my own journey began right here with this amazing organization. I met amazing mentors, found a positive environment, and became part of a lifelong family. At just 14 years old, I got my first job here, and I've become committed to this mission ever since. The dedication I poured into this place and love it gave me in return led to something that I could never imagine. In 2021, I was honored to be the Midwest Youth of the Year and later become a national finalist across the country for Boys and Girls Club. This place didn't just give me an opportunity, it gave me a platform. It didn't just give me a job, it gave me purpose. It didn't just shape who I am, it helped me discover who I could become. And that's why today matters so much. Because we now have the chance to pass that same opportunity to the next person, to the next dreamer, to the next leader who just needs someone to believe in them. The Tolleston Opportunity Hub isn't just a new beginning. It is a continuation of everything that this building has meant to me, to this community, and every person who has walked through those doors. We're not here just breaking ground on a building. We're breaking ground on opportunities, on partnerships, on programs that work, on pathways that lead our kids toward their purpose. Now, don't get me wrong. I am beyond excited about this building. I've walked through it in my mind 100 times. Imagine what it'll feel like. Imagine what it'll look like. Filled with energy, ideas, and hope. But I also understand the emotions that come with change. Not long ago, I had a conversation with someone from the community, someone who was truly upset about the parts of the original Tolleston building being gone. They had memories there, real ones. And for them, those bricks held more than just a structure. They held stories. And why I get that, I really do. I had to tell them though, while some pieces of the original structure may no longer stand, the heart of Tolleston is still here. It's always going to be here. the stories, the legacies, the impact. It lives in every young person whose life will be touched on these grounds. That's what will last a life. It's just a building. What matters most, what truly lasts, is the impact this place will have. It's the conversations in those hallways, the mentor purpose in the space. And most importantly, we're creating something for new generations to come into enjoy. And a place where young people will not just be served, but seen. Not just taught, but inspired. A place where greatness is grown and where futures take root. So in closing, let's dig deep, not just into the collective commitment. Let's build this hub with heart. Let's fill it with purpose. And let's make sure that when we look back years from today, this moment stands proudly for all the years before it. Thank you for believing in this vision, and more importantly, for believing in our young people. Let's break this ground and let's build something great together. Thank you.
Okay, Heather, try to follow that. I think I got the raw end of this. What a great example of the power of the Boys and Girls Club and what can happen. Thank you, Marcus. Our next speaker is a YMCA member and a member of the Gary community, and so I'd like to bring up Crystal O'Brien to share a couple words in her story.
Good afternoon. My name is Crystal O'Brien. I am the newly appointed board member for the Gary Public Library. And I just wanted to my experience as a YMCA member. Now, I asked Jay yesterday if I should prepare a speech, and he said no. But I feel a little shorted now that I've seen these amazing speakers come up and give these amazing words. So hopefully I can give a little salt to this beautiful plate that's been served to us. So I've been a member of the Crossroad Y for almost 3 years, and my daughter and I take advantage of all the classes and all the offerings that the Y offers. And the unique thing about Crossroads is that we have, 5 or 6 locations, experience different classes and different opportunities that don't exist in any other institution in this region. You may have a dance studio or an art studio for a kid, but then the parents have that Y experience. So we've done cooking classes in Crown Point for her. We've done gymnastics at the Cherville, so we are very, very, very familiar with everything the Y has to offer. And then for me personally, when it comes to working out, I love classes. The Y offers, of course, the full gym and lifting classes, and that's not always offered at a gym, and that is included at the Y. Now, I'm not trying to say I'm trying to be the Y spokesperson, but I could see opportunity for Gary, Indiana, and I'm so excited because where I live here in Gary, to the Cherville Y, but I will be 3.5 minutes. Comes here to the Boys and Girls Club. We've done the summer camps from everywhere from the Whiting campus. It's right here in our community. And so I am excited, probably more than anyone else here today, for this. So much for the opportunity of letting me speak. And I look forward to the groundbreaking and the ribbon cutting.
All right, we're close. I wanted to follow up just let's talk about that again, $5 million match. Now, the word match was in there, right? And it's beginning, we're not done yet. Today, we break ground, but we still have some unfunded dreams, as I like to say. So to really complete our full building and campus vision, we are launching campaign. And so we know that people, there's so many people when I moved to the region that their start was in Gary. I mean, countless people say, I grew up here. I have board members that, have grown up here. And so this is a great opportunity to be able to have these dollars matched and create a legacy of naming for the next 75 years plus when we look at this campus and what it can mean. So we will have information if you are interested. You can talk to me afterwards. We'll have some stuff on the website. But this is a great opportunity to cement a legacy in the city of Gary for something that, quite frankly, I don't think there's probably a community in the country right now that has three partners like we're talking about here, bringing a site to anywhere in their community, much less right here in Gary. And so we can talk about that. But now the time has come to be able to do the ceremonial groundbreaking. So I'd like to call up a group of partners. If you would just head down to the path here and grab a helmet and a shovel. Mayor Melton, Councilwoman Brown, Congressman Frank Mervan, Bill Hanna, Beth White, Heather Ennis, Mike Jessen, Hospital, Shive Hattery, one of our partners with Jeff, Josh Schoen with Berglund, and Claude Powers from There we go. Again, that concludes